Let's go here. Go live. Hey, everybody. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. There we go. So, there we are. Hey, everybody. All right. So, let's get back over here. Hey, everybody. Good Tuesday morning. How's everybody doing this morning? I'm getting my day started. Well, I've been up for a little bit. Ava's headed out for the day. I'm heading over to the shop in a little bit. It's kind of balmy here in Atlanta this morning, breezy a little bit. I should did my hair, y'all. But anyway, good morning, TikTok and Instagram and Facebook and YouTube out there. What's going on in the world this morning? Is everybody getting awoke? Waking up? I can see it's real breezy here outside. Wind's kind of swirling around. But anyhow, I'm just sitting here, going to get my day going here shortly. Got stuff to do. Come on in, TikTok. Say hello this morning. I was, y'all, maybe this is mainly me because I know there's a lot of people. Hey, good morning, Matt. I know there's a lot of people around the country and around the world or whatever, but a lot of people around the country are, galvanizing and there's these protests that's going on across the country that quite a few people are going to. Y'all, I am so Trumped out already. I'm just so over Trump already. And what has it been 100 days? But I'm just like, I don't want to see no news. I don't want to hear nothing on the TV. I don't want to see no talking heads, yada, 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 yada. I'm just kind of like, really, and I know that, and I know that's probably not hey, good morning, Rhonda, over on Facebook. I know that's probably not the best way to be. I think I'm just outraged out. And I think I'm just kind of burnt out already. And my God, we still got almost 4 more years of this to go, of just 7 days a week, 24 hours a day of Trump, 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 Trump. It's just really, I'm just burnt out with it already. I just can't hardly stomach it. Always looking down, they laugh at our protest. Grandma Jackie says, only one headline I want to see. We probably know what that headline is. Agree, it's enough already. Linda Lou says, it is. I'm just burnt out with it. And I know that, you've got other people on TikTok and social media platforms, or the Don Lemons and the other people that's of notoriety, that's just like a political, and Trump. I don't have it. I don't have the energy to kind of keep up with all that. My thing is I'd rather focus on getting my hydrangeas up out of the garden and longest 4 months ever. And I fought cancer longer than that, Grandma Jackie says. It is, isn't it? And I almost feel apologetic, like I just need to come on here after being so politically active over the summer during the campaign for the Harris campaign and kind of having my little notoriety moment of being involved in a lot of that. But I'm just so burnt out with it already. And the one thing I do know about myself, I wish they would start using reverse psychology and not give him any time. I wish me too, Linda. I do too. Why? The thing about it is I've had a falling out with Legacy News, and what I call Legacy News is ABC, CBS, NBC, MSNBC, CNN, Fox News, all that. All them people are basically big-time Trump supporters behind the scenes as they sit on their $20 million yachts that's off in Miami when you go down there and you see all these rich folks living. Uh, Marley says, I canceled all news subs, sick of them. Spirits are broken. Yeah, I'm seeing the comments over there. Good morning, TikTok. Eddie Williams Sellers coming to y'all as the people start filling in the room over here. Coming to y'all from my little dining room here at East Point this morning. Top of the morning to you. I mean, I almost feel like I need to be apologetic because, like, why ain't you on here really fighting the good fight? Why ain't you bearing the armor? Why ain't you putting up a good fight against Trump? I'm just burnt out. I'm burnt out with all of it. You know, I'm ready. Good morning, Luke. I'm ready to go to the beach. I'm ready, and I know we got a country to save. If it can be saved, you know what was that? One of the famous forefathers said, we give to you a democracy if you can keep it. Well, Lord, it seems like it's slipping through our hands, doesn't it? And I know I should be outraged about the El Salvadorian that got swept up wrongfully and deported to some horrible prison in El Salvador. Now there's people on here now saying he's probably dead. The reason they're not going to bring him back, they can't. He's probably already buried somewhere. And I know I should just be outraged, but I'm just kind of outraged out with all of it, And so what I'm trying to do is, over the next year or so, is kind of, that old movie, how they say Stella got her groove back, yeah, exactly. The Supreme Grandma Jackie says Supreme Court can't force the president. Then what? What is it good for? I'm telling y'all, people, and I'm hoping people's hearing me over here. Let me fix this. I didn't fix my own microphone. I'm telling y'all, I've been saying this for a while. We don't have a Supreme Court. The Supreme Court got gerrymandered in with 3 Trump appointees, and Clarence Thomas has always been a farce, an idiot. And I've been saying all along, that's why Pete Buttigieg says maybe we change the structure of the Supreme Court and maybe make it 12 justices and have a rotating 6 justices. What the Supreme Court now is a MAGA court. That's not a Supreme Court. That's a bunch of MAGA people on there. And who's Clarence Thomas woman? Don't I say that with disdain? Married to that white woman who's part of MAGA. And then that other Supreme Court justice who had his wife hanging a MAGA sign outside of her. And then you got them 3 white people that Trump put on the Supreme Court. It's not a Supreme Court, y'all. That's not a Supreme Court, not in the traditional American sense of justices that Luke said, I smell a martial law coming. But I don't have any illusions at Supreme Court. And the thing about it is the Supreme Court has ordered them to bring that guy back and give him due process. And then the MAGA people, you don't hear Trump's even saying now, why not take our hardened criminals, send American citizens, send them to those prisons that's under another country's control in El Salvador. Could y'all imagine if President Barack Hussein Obama had said at any time in his presidency that we should take American citizens and send them off to Africa or Cuba or somewhere to those prisons? Oh my God. Chaos would have ensued like we'd never seen it in the country before. So anyhow, if I go down that road, I just have this I have this sense of yes, yeah, he does, Lisa. When Trump referred to them as homegrowns, he refers to you and me. Yeah. Yeah. So anyhow, I'm outraged out. So what I've tried to do is I've tried to compartmentalize a lot of parts of my life. If you have a if some of you in the past have had one of your children that's like Rosie O'Donnell's going through now, and I went through, and other moms and dads have went through, if some of us have Obama was dragged through the mud for ordering Dijon mustard and that tan suit, that goddamn tan suit. Can y'all believe that Obama had the gall to wear a goddamn tan suit? Isn't it crazy where we come from? Can y'all believe that John Edwards, the leading Democratic nominee for president of the United States, dropped out of the race because he was having an affair? MAGA was outraged at people having affairs. Can y'all imagine that one of my favorite people and senators of all time from Minnesota, the comedian guy from Saturday Night Live, a picture showed up from 20 years ago where he took a picture on a plane going on a tour, a comedic tour for the troops of a female comedian laying there. She wasn't inappropriate and posted it from 20 years ago. The Democratic Party, because of MAGA's outrage about Al Franken, asked him to resign. And man, I like Al Franken. And and Gary Hart. Some of you people go back to even Gary Hart. But Obama in that goddamn tan suit. Fox News was running tickers for weeks. That goddamn tan suit. How dare he disrespect the presidency over there? It's funny, isn't it? Isn't it funny? It's easy to get outraged. Good morning, Connie, my cousin down there. Connie said she's at work scrolling and just saw me. My cousin Connie's a nurse. Double standard, but the love is still there. Stocks tanking, no Medicaid, no Social Security. You boy, they're gonna rip Medicaid. Y'all wait and see. They're gonna rip Medicaid. Oligarchs and billionaires love squeezing every nickel off the backs of poor people. You know, the people that built this country, the people that not pump our gas no more. They don't have people to do that. But the people that cook our hamburgers at McDonald's and get our sausage biscuits at Hardee's and get out there and work in the car washes, and, you know, the poor people of this country that make this country turn. Oligarchs and people like the Trumps and the Musk, they love squeezing every dime they can off the backs of poor people, you know. And so anyway, y'all, good morning. I just said Fox needs to go. I'm Connie too, Captain Brooklyn says. How much money do these people need? Because having $5 billion in the bank isn't enough. You know, Overwatch says. How much money does Elon need? $400 billion. One man, $400 billion. Can you imagine what you could do if the government would go in there and say, you've got so much money, and most of that money is our money that he gets from billions and billions of dollars of our taxpayers, if he had to pay 30% tax on all of it, you know. Anyhow, so there I go getting outraged again. And y'all, I'm not getting my blood pressure up. It's easy to get outraged. Ashton says, what about that flight he took to the UFC fight? Yeah, it cost the taxpayer. And y'all, the thing about it is, drove an hour. Yeah, we need to convince suit to listen. He plays golf every week. Several days a week he's on the golf course. The taxpayers pay millions of dollars for him to fly around and to play golf. It costs us, the taxpayers, millions of dollars for him to do that. And yet they want to slash and destroy Medicaid. They want to cut back on Social Security. You know, Rhonda says, I saw an interesting article the other day. You don't see an Elon wing at the hospitals or donations to libraries or helping children. Isn't that weird? Just think about that. You ride through downtown Atlanta and you see, or you go out to Emory and Grady Hospital, you see Piedmont up here. They just built a new building, the Marcus something building, one of the co-founders of Home Depot and and you go in these hospitals and you see these other prominent people with money have whole wings and stuff with their name on. You don't see nothing with Elon's wing on it, a name on it. You don't see anything with the Trump name on it anywhere except hotels. You know, they don't care about hurting people. They don't care about poor people. You know, and no tax on tips and overtime wasn't in the budget. Yep, so strange. Yeah, Arthur Blank. Yeah. Children's Healthcare of Atlanta, Arthur Blank. Yeah, you know, and these other people, you know, I don't know, y'all. I have to. I'm stepping back from it. I'm just stepping back from it because it's easy to be outraged at the oligarchs and the billionaires of this country, and that's always trying to squeeze the nickel off the poor man's back. You know, they would take away, and not only that, but what's even more scary now, they're taking away people's rights. You know, now I was seeing, like Rhonda said about her article, I was seeing a post the other day. I was seeing a post the other day now where they want to do this executive order, have done, where for federal elections, people have to show their citizenship papers. And for women, 67 million women, voting age women, I believe it said, that took their husband's last name, you know, in the voting. Well, it's on their driver's license or whatever, their husband's last name. But a driver's license is not proof of citizenship. Proof of citizenship is your birth certificate. You know, that the MAGA people started this movement of MAGA off of the birther movement, which is Donald Trump, one of the biggest racists, one of the most prominent racists in the history of our country. There's never been a person more bigoted and racist than Donald Trump. And white people love that. You know, the white people that voted for him love that. Oh, they'll tell you, oh, no, I'm a child of God. I follow Christ. I'm not a racist. Not a racist bone in my body. That's a lie, because you voted for one of the biggest racists that's ever been in political office in this country. And so anyhow, but they want to everybody now to have to prove they're a citizen in order to vote. Well, then I was reading where that what's going to happen is women are not going to be able to show their birth certificate with their with their name on it that matches their married name. You know, they're born a Sellers, but now they're a Williams because they're married to a man and they took his name on. That is going to just create this whole, because they don't want women voting, because women are a big part of voting against the anti-abortion things that's going on. They like to make it harder for women to vote. So that's kind of a trap. They're seedy. So anyhow, there I went. I just went and got outraged again. Yeah, it's not required for men. That is very convenient, isn't it? As the church lady on Saturday Night Live used to say, how convenient. You know, so there's a reason why they took Colin Powell and Medgar Evers' names off of Arlington Cemetery directory, because they're racist. Well, anyhow, you can't say stuff like that on TikTok. So my TikTok just went down the toilet. But anyway, yeah. So anyhow, I'm going to get out of here and go piddle in my garden a little bit. And just as I say, I'm Trump fatigued out and racist out, and all that kind of stuff. If I get to talking, it just bubbles up out of me. What a time we're living through, y'all. You know, as a country. And MAGA people did this to the country. MAGA people. You MAGA people out there that love Donald Trump so much, you screwed this nation up big time this time. And yeah, you really screwed it up. So anyhow, let me get out of here. See y'all.